Ooh ha! Wanted to do a little live stream tonight. How's everyone doing out there? Everyone good? Hope everyone is in tip top shape. Hope everyone is doing a-okay. I hope everyone is in tippy top condition. I'm just trying to be nice at night. Trying to be trying to be nice right now. I want to be a nice guy. I want to be a nice guy tonight. How's everyone doing? What's good, bro? TWTG. How you doing? Always a good guy. Reggie and his cousin Frisch right here. They're good people. By the way, Reggie and your cousin Frisch, Captain Blinky, followed you on Twitter. Well, I don't know what I'm doing here, but whatever. Uh, okay, yeah, whatever. That's fine. But yeah, I'm in pain too. I'm in a lot of pain too. My foot and my back hurting for the past freaking year and a half, but you know, I deal with it. Yeah, Krish, my Twitter got suspended, so created a new one. Just to let you know, Captain Blinky. Good God, Krish talked about pain, and now I'm getting mad fucking pain. Jesus Christ! Oh my God! Like you talk about pain, and you start to feel it. It's not a good thing. Yeah, I kind of had the same. I kind of had the same. It's not exactly my spine. It's where the pelvis meets the spine. It's the I fight through it. Sometimes I walk around like a hunchback, and sometimes I don't. It's all good. If I take enough substances, it goes away for a little bit. Yeah, I said it. I won't deny it. I'll never deny it. Whoever denies ever using drugs is an idiot. See friggin' You see people who are jacked up on steroids. I never took steroids in my life. Yeah, right. You look like a fucking living action figure, and no, you never took one single, not a steroid in your life. No, yeah. I believe you. Yeah, right. Well, yeah, good looking. Fresh. Or yeah, I've been banned off of Twitter for days now. I got locked out of my account. Oh, I wonder why. But I'm just gonna let that die and keep on with this new Twitter. And I've been asking people to send the word out to what my new Twitter is, and people ain't been really doing that. You gotta do what you gotta do to get by. With what exactly? Living in general, or yeah, I guess any means. That's true. It's very true. This ain't gonna be a very long stream. I just have hours to kill. I have hours to kill. So I'm gonna kill some hours. And I tried numerous times sharing the StreamYard link. No, I don't have a debilitating opiate addiction. No, no, I can't say I do. I smoke weed. I drink beer. I yeah, I regret doing acid. I've done acid in my life. It's not a thing that you're going to be proud of later on in your life. Then again, doing any drugs is not, doing any sort of drugs. Hey, I do drugs. I knew people who used to be like that. It's like when you could go to a bar and someone would be like, "I could drink you under the table." It's like, no, you're just an asshole. You're just a drunk degenerate asshole, and you're trying to brag about it. Like, fine, you could drink me under the table. Fine. Well, it's not even the green helps the pain. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've heard your stories. I've heard your stories. So come in and talk your stories. Your stories are awesome. Where you were turned into a drug mule. I remember you had that drug mule story. I think that was just them trying to trick the white boy into being a drug mule. I've never been. That's one thing I've never been. I've been asked to do a lot of things. I've been asked to do a lot of things, criminality wise. Not one time was I asked to smuggle drugs. I've been asked to steal cars, and blah blah blah. Other things. Asked to break into houses, steal shit. Asked to, never did it. Uh, I was asked. Well, I was in. Oh, here he comes.
Hey man, how's it going?
What's
Can you
up, man?
hear? Hey,
Hello.
not
How
much.
you doing?
Yeah, um, just doing a bit of painkillers, chilling out.
I stopped taking those about a week ago.
Yeah, I don't like. There's like the ones that are just was I think it's like paracetamol and codeine or something like that. They're not like really powerful. It's not like it's an opioid or anything like that. But in Australia, you still have to go and get like a script from the doctor to get them.
Uh,
Um, and they fuck it, like if I go down the road to a drug dealer and buy drugs off the drug dealer, he makes me feel like less of a drug addict than the doctors do when I go and ask for medication.
yeah, I know that feeling.
And I'm sitting there going like, I'm not asking you for like the hard stuff. I'm asking you for just something and you can see on my medical record that I rarely ever come in and ask for things because I don't like taking them in the first place. So I only like come in and say like, I need another script when I've run out, and it's usually like months and months after I probably run out long, should have run out long ago, but I didn't use them frequently, so I didn't run out.
Well, like it's the hardcore painkillers.
What
Like what? Like what's the hardcore stuff? Like Vicodin and shit like that.
was it the those are called the opioids and stuff like that?
Oh, okay.
Like that's not what I'm asking for. Not like I'm not asking for. They treat you like you're asking for morphine, but like I'm just the one I've got. It's I think it's I can't remember the brand name of it. It's a Panadine Forte or something like that. It's basically I want something in it that if you take that painkiller frequently, it helps to as a like what's it anti-inflammatory, and it also helps the painkiller itself work, which is basically stopping the feedback loop of the neurochemical that, like, you feel pain in an area, and that
Yeah.
sends a signal to the brain, and then the brain releases a chemical from the brain that causes the entire area to basically have incredible amounts of pain and lock up, because the locking up causes the pain, and it's like it's trying to protect that area, which then continuously feeds the sensors. So you're sending the signal, and then it gets to the point where, like if you have like your entire leg cut off, this signal's being sent a lot, and you need to be really really careful of that leg, and you really need to baby that leg so that it like you don't die. So the body is thinking that there's a serious damage there more than there really is. So it then basically the smallest signal of pain that is sent releases huge amounts of this neurochemical for the reaction to it, and you end up with like your body constantly like fucking up, and then it puts more pressure on those areas that have like if you've got a slip disc or if you've got osteoarthritis, it'll start to put more pressure and more strain on those parts of the body, which will exacerbate the damage, or can exacerbate, not necessarily will.
Oh, I've done that to myself. I've done that to myself. I
Yeah.
have a bullet wound in my um, in my left leg, and when I started walking around and doing everything after that, I was putting more pressure on my right leg, and it was going back and forth. It was kind of
Yeah,
like ping ponging back and forth between the pressure I was continuing to put on my legs.
yeah. I didn't exactly get a bullet wound. I just had a motorcycle accident and gouged the top out of my right knee, close to where the kneecap
Ow,
was.
that
So
sounds.
like, if it had been
Sorry, sorry,
a
man.
bit deeper,
That sounds terrible.
um, if it had been like it was right at the right point where if it had been much deeper and stuff, like you with afterwards when it was all patched up and stuff, you'd look at it, oh, it's like someone's tried to kneecap you. Is what it looked like.
Yeah.
Um, but the with that one, then I took my was putting all my the weight onto my left knee, or my right, sorry, my left leg, and then my right one started to sort of the muscles weren't working as hard, so they start to atrophy a little bit in comparison, and then yeah, to try and then balance your body back out again, it's not easy.
No, it fucks you up. It really fucks you up.
Yeah,
Oh my god. Because when it really started hitting me, it was I was working at a warehouse, at a HVAC warehouse, for heating,
yeah.
air conditioning type place,
Yeah,
and
I'm just
he
like
had.
you say. This is when you hit you, and you're telling me the setup for this the place, and I'm like thinking of how horrible this could go. It's just like I'm
Well,
getting
no,
shivers.
no. Well, I'm saying like, all right, I played a lot of sports in between the injury and
Yeah,
when I had these really physically taxing jobs.
yeah,
I'm not a big dude, and I had a lot of jobs where I had to move a lot of heavy shit,
yeah.
and even had to do crazy shit like, oh, this one fucking guy, he had me. I climbed the ladder and like was painting someone's house. He's a fucking Irish guy who lived next door to me, but like when I was working for him, he lived a neighborhood away, and he's like, "I'll get you a fucking 6 pack." I was like, "Okay, that's my extra payment for having to do this." Okay, so I did it. I had to like climb this crazy spot on a roof to paint stuff. All right, whatever.
Yeah. Are you
But
gonna
I
say
when
that?
I
How did you
played,
do the damage?
well, it was kind of built up over the years. It was built
Yes, it
up over the
does. Yeah,
years. I
built
think
up or ground away, like ground away over the years.
in between me getting shot and me playing sports was kind of that was kind of the whole uh, beginning of the end for my physical being.
Yeah,
And then after that, I had a lot of delivery jobs, messenger jobs. I had to run around left and right. Working in Manhattan, you get a nice stride walking down the street, working in Manhattan, and then all of a sudden, some dickhead will get right in front of you. Be all slow, and it'll just break
yeah,
your stride. And then every time you have to break your stride, it kind of takes your momentum down a little bit.
yeah. It's like when you get out of that routine, that constant like stopping and starting and stuff. Yeah,
Well, Manhattan is terrible for that.
and the crowded environment would be hard to get
Oh,
around.
oh God, Manhattan is horrible.
Um, Let me see if I can share something. Uh, that should do it. This is one of the jobs that absolutely fucked me. That bar at the back is it basically keeps your wrists always at a like you can't keep your wrists straight. They're always just a little bit angled up or a little bit angled down.
Is that a shampoo machine or a
That's
regular vacuum? It's a vacuum?
thing that motor you're seeing on there would have like your sitting behind it would be a the barbecue gas bottle, like the
Yeah. But I'm
and
saying,
then
like,
and it attaches to basically a small sort of say motorcycle size engine, and then that goes down to two big flat discs that are flat. They're not like round on the edge on the ground; they're flat on the ground, buffing, and they're both moving into like so. That's like this. So they're both, one will be going clockwise, and the other one will be going anti-clockwise. And so you're pushing that along the ground, and there's no wheels except for at the back. There's two wheels, and it doesn't pull itself along. It's you've got to push it along. Then that every now and again, it will one of the pads will stick to the ground, and it will try and yank itself out of your grip and go through a glass window next year. So you're constantly fighting that, going backwards and forwards in front of you. Um, and it's vibrating like you wouldn't believe. Like yeah, it's all over the show, and you do that for like say 5 to 6 hours every night. And that was one of the jobs that fucked my back up.
I could imagine.
And then after like years of doing, um, like yeah, there's delivery jobs. There's like you're doing installations and demolitions and uh, different things like that. Like half the jobs I've done, I can't even remember.
There
Um,
was one job I had where I was working off the books for this one person, but we
that's
were
always a
doing,
good
yeah,
start.
what, working off the books for somewhere?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
No, no, he paid me good. He paid me good. He paid me
yeah.
a hundred
But it's
bucks a
usually
day.
because like it's a dangerous or damaging job that you're going to do.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I won't lie about that. But he was paying me $100 a day. No
Yeah,
joke, no joke. $100 a day, which is pretty goddamn good.
it's not bad.
Um, but this one day we were not working in someone else's house. We were working on his house, and we had to destroy his front porch. And I was using a fucking sledgehammer on it.
Yeah,
Uh, I'm sure stuff like that kind of helped with my problems right now. But I'm not.
yeah,
I've never been a big guy. The tallest, I'm 5'10". I've been the same freaking size since high school. Five
yeah,
ten, and the heaviest I ever was 170 pounds.
yeah. I've always been a short, fat guy, but talking about fucking yourself up doing demolition work, like it was a property that we know the guy who had bought it, and he basically the house needed to be demolished, and they were going to build like a whole bunch of houses on the property to and sell them off individually, make the money back. So we get access to the place and was to destroy it. So let's just like have a whole lot of friends rock up one night and let's just fucking party. And if the place gets absolutely demolished, well, that makes our job easier, doesn't it? So we can like literally like at one point we had like we were sitting there and we'd found like a plastic roadside pickup table for the outdoor table that we had in the what would have been the dining room, and we were sitting around on whatever we could find to sit on, getting absolutely toasted, and then we could see the police lights flashing in the window behind us. And we look up, and one of the guys in the room is just gone. He's not there anymore. Because as soon as he saw the lights, he knew they were here looking for him, and he fucking bolted. And so the cops came in and saw what we were doing, and like that we had the keys to the place, and the alibi sounded good. They didn't bother doing anything about it because they were looking for him, and he'd gone out the back and bolted over the fence and run at that point. So they took off after him. But the fucking yourself up, the mate who we basically, it's how I got involved in it through that guy. He was this big Czechoslovakian guy who he wasn't like wide, but he was like tall and sort of wiry. And he invented this thing where you know how you get the tequila and you take the lick the salt and then you take the shot of
Yeah,
tequila
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
lemon.
yeah.
Well, what did is he chopped up the lemon. He's got the lemon and he's got the salt down like his finger, to ready to like lick the salt off the finger and then have the shot. So what he does is he snorts the salt off the finger, takes the shot down of the tequila and grabs the lemon and drips the lemon into his eye. He then like just lets out this huge mighty scream and then puts his head with the like it's like a fibro sort of like a faux asbestos type material that the walls are made out of, so you can fairly easily put your fist through the wall. But he just puts his head bang straight through the wall, and there's now this head-shaped hole inside of the wall. Like I'm
Yeah,
sitting there going we were like, yeah, fuck yeah. We're all like, yeah, fucking go. He does it a second time.
you
Sorry?
sound like you sound like you would have hung out with the same people that I hung out with back in the day, because really this is really some straight up shit that sounds like people.
Sounds
Because
familiar, does it?
yeah, because I know people who did a lot of dumb shit when they were high and drunk. And
Yeah. Hey, there's a third time he does it, which is the absolute best. Because like the first time he does it, it's out of nowhere, and you're like, whoa. The second time you do it, it's like, dude, this guy is fucking hardcore. And he goes for a third time, and the third time he does it, when he headbutts the wall, it doesn't actually create a hole in the wall because he hits the Jarrah beam and bounces off. So he like literally, he's like, he comes, bang, smashes the hole in the wall. Second time, smashes, bang, smashes the hole in the wall. Comes up and he's like doing it in a row, like in a line. So the next time he does, he goes, bang, bounces off. He's like, sits down. And he's like, man, I'm doing that again.
um, when we used to do acids, it would always turn into a debacle. Because we used to do we used to gather up. We used to have plans. We were like, we're all gonna drop acid on this night and see what happens. And sometimes it was an adventure. Is We used to have people going out and stealing bagels because around the bakeries in my neighborhood, they would actually leave the bag of fresh bagels out in front of the stores of like the bakeries around here before the
Okay.
bakeries were open.
What is that? Why are they leaving bags of
Yeah,
bacon?
yeah. I don't know because I didn't run the bagel company.
That
If
doesn't
I
make a lot of sense.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. When you just leave them out there, and a bunch of people high on acid can go and steal this bag of bagels,
Early in the
well,
morning, they can just come and steal the bagels.
and they would steal the whole bag. They would steal the whole bag.
I mean, like the closest I've seen to that is when I was working in cleaning again. We're doing trash removal for the bakeries and stuff that are in the shopping centers, and you would find like an entire garbage bag, like where they have just literally gone and they like haven't sold anything for like the afternoon or something. So they just take the garbage bag and fill the entire garbage bag up with like all the freshly done stuff that day, and you see there like there's like literally nothing. You open the bag up and there's literally nothing else in there but like stacks and stacks of like loaves of bread and like all the different donuts and crusty knobs and all that sort of shit. And you'd like why are we throwing this out? We just take it home and you've got a bag of fucking bread. There was one of the bosses who actually did that. He'd come down and say like, "Oh, what you doing? Oh, yeah, taking out the rubbish." And he'd have a look around. He'd grab one of the big bags and chuck it in the back of his car and drive off. It's like, oh yeah, you come to check on us, or you coming just to get bags of bread?
But it's funny that they were stealing that they were basically stealing the day's inventory. It's like they were
Essentially, yeah. I'm guessing they probably like it's whatever they couldn't sell on that afternoon, and they couldn't sell a lot, so
no,
there's
they
quite a
were
bit.
doing this at like 4 or 5 in the morning when we were all tripping
Okay.
on acid. When we were all tripping on acid, it was an all nighter.
Yeah. Oh no. Yes, there was all definitely an all-nighter when you're tripping on acid. That's for sure. Uh,
I mean, I'm not condoning acid. It's not good. It's
oh
not
no.
good. Don't take acid, everybody.
This is for educational purposes, so this should not get any strikes or
Yes,
any issues
yes.
against you. This is
Don't
all for educational purposes,
do not
and
take.
it
Don't
is
take
like
them.
saying things that we may have said that we have done or experienced. These are not things that we are telling you to do. These
No,
are
no,
cautionary tales.
no on LSD.
Yeah, drugs are bad, okay. But yeah, there's some good times though. There's um, there used to be where I'm in Western Australia. You used to be able a short drive to go out, and it was the farms and stuff like that, and people who had blocks of land where it was mostly like native trees and like forest bushland type stuff. Um, so you'd get in with a crew of people who knew that there were these basically like they were technically an illegal rave. I mean, if you have I personally think you have a huge party on your own property, and it's really really big, and your property is really really big. That's your business. The the law of the land being that if you've got it it's that big and you're charging people and you've got your live bands, not live
Oh
bands, but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
proper DJs coming and stuff like that, and you have to have it you have to have certain there's certain laws and legal hoops you've got to jump through, and they basically
Uh,
did. They just tell everybody about it, and you'd end up um, like somebody knew somebody whose car you were in, and you're driving through the farms and long straight roads out when there's just farms and nothing on either side, and then you pull off into like a what we would call bush, but I guess you guys would call forest. And you're going through all the trees and everything, and it's like off road now a little bit. But you're not in an off road car; you're in like a sedan or something. So you're sitting there going like, "Huh, I wonder if we're going to end up digging this thing out at some stage." And eventually, you come to an opening where there's all these cars parked up on like a grassy sort of area, and you can hear some noise. And then you go over the sort of to where everyone is, and yeah, there's this huge rave going, and you'd either know about it in advance and have brought a lot of stuff with you, or you'd find somebody there who's got a lot of stuff. And one of the things we found, there's a truffle, uh, which is like a sort of like a mushroom, but it's not like with the caps and everything like that.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
more
yeah, yeah.
thing. And they were called philosopher's stone truffles. Um, and we've never done anything like them. And they just look like little rocks, tiny little rocks in a test tube. And we didn't know anything about it and whatnot, and so we'd brought with us a saucepan and bottles of bottled water. Um, and there's these bonfires, there'll be like a stage, and there'll be lighting, and then a little bit back from that, there'll be like a bonfire and people everywhere. So there's a couple of those around. So we went and found one that didn't have too many people around, and the fire's starting to go down a little bit. And we cleared a section with like glowing ashes. Oh, sorry, glowing coals. So they cleared the ashes away for the glowing coals, and we put the saucepan down on top of that, poured the water in, and then added the vial of philosopher's stone. And they were all sitting there, we're filling out. So um, like a we left it basically until it was cool enough to pick up, And so it'd been sitting there, not like simmering and like heating for a little while, and it went around and everybody had a sip of it, and everyone had just like a little sip and then went off back to the rave. Whereas me and one other guy sat there, poured some more water into it to top it back up a little bit because we wanted to keep you got to keep some of this water because it's the only water you've got while you're out there. And we put it back onto the heat for a little while, and we basically like the heat that the first round of heating was just sort of blanching it and sort of reconstituting the truffles. The second round was a real proper extraction, and we basically sat there and drank the like half of the thing each. And he went back because he was like, yeah, like if he sits there any longer, he's not going to be able to go back to the where everyone else is. So he went back, and I sort of said, I'm going to give this a few more seconds because things are starting to get a little bit wicked. Like they're getting a little bit fucking crazy. Um, I couldn't actually stand up until I crawled over to a tree, and then I sort of climbed my way up the tree until I was standing, and then sort of pushed off, and I was standing. It's like, yeah, I'm up. This is awesome. Walked over to where everyone else was around a bigger fire, and everyone's basically laying on the ground around this big fire, bonfire. And there's music playing, and I walk up, and if I'm standing there and I'm looking at the lights, I'm looking at the music and listening to everything, everything's fine. But if I look down and go to sit down, from about waist height or some just waist to knee height, there is a river of color and energy flowing around me. And I like every time I go to get down into it, I get down to like neck height, and it's like, nah, I as if you're actually going to be submersed into water, and you just so it's like, no, I don't want to do that because I won't be able to breathe and I'll be underwater, and that's not cool. And I can't see what's underneath this layer of color and energy, so I'm just going to stand up here. So I did that a couple of times, and a few people were like, "You come on, sit down with everyone, sit down with everyone." And then I was sort of like, "No, I'm cool. I'm just going to stand here, and I don't need to sit down. I'm comfortable. I can enjoy everything from up here." And a couple of people said, "He's tripping balls. Leave him alone. Let him stand there." And yeah, that was a crazy night.
Uh, were you really like an international drug mule?
I wouldn't end up becoming an international drug mule. They, um, for the thing I found out for what they went through with them, and the people I spoke to afterwards, it was that they were going to try and get my passports and information and like that, and then basically once they've got all your information, they will sell that to somebody else and own you. So you'll never get it back, and you'll be constantly. If you want any money, you want to like what money they give you is the only money you're going to end up being able to live on. And I actually, there were a couple of young girls in one of the places I was staying that they basically went to this place called Goa, and they loved the party lifestyle so much. And these young women in their maybe early 20s, late teens ish, like you're maybe anywhere from 19, 20 and up to no older than like you're 24, 25. Like, they would be pushing it. I'd be surprised if they're like that old. Um, but they went over there. They're enjoying the party lifestyle. They realize they can go out to nightclubs and pubs and stuff like that, and men will lavish on them and do everything they want for them. They their visa runs out, and their money starts to run out, and they sort of go, "Well, what can we do?" So they take all their ID and sell all their ID. Now they've got a bit of money, so they can then go to a cheaper hotel and stay for a little while now in a cheaper hotel. Then eventually that money sort of runs out, and they need some more money. So they know that the guy they sold their passports and stuff like that to, they can go now and talk to him. And he says, "Yeah, like I've got this nightclub that is like pretty good. It's like we get lots and lots of young men who have come down to Goa to party really hard. Lots of locals from other parts of India come down here because they know they can. It's a place where there's a lot of partying going on. So they say what we'll get you girls to do is if you come to our club and you're like you dance with the men and you flirt with all the boys and do all that sort of stuff, and then the guys are really going to want to come to our nightclub. It makes our nightclub look a lot better if we've got lots of beautiful women. at our nightclub. So we'll pay you to come to our nightclub and do that. And then so they go, well, they're not going to have as much money and they're going to have to move to a cheaper place again in order to afford it. But hey, they get to keep this party lifestyle going and they're being paid to go to a nightclub and party every night. How great is that? But then they realize that the part and parcel of what they're doing is they are expected to go home with at least one guy from the club that they are dancing and hanging out at. So they're essentially prostitutes that are that you then that you go there, you know that there are all these young, gorgeous women who are paid to go home with you. So you go there, you party, you spend heaps of money, you flirt with them, you act as though it's a you've gone out and hooked up with somebody at a nightclub, when really you've gone out and just got a whore that instead of paying her directly, you are spending lots and lots of money on her at the nightclub. And then like
Well,
I
strip
broke it
clubs
up.
are so
Then I'm
useless.
in. Wait,
Strip
wait.
clubs. When you think about it, strip clubs in general, are fucking useless.
Hey, but the thing that happens that like is the downside for me is that I'm in my room at like 4 in the morning or something like that, trying to sleep, and I can hear on my door this bang, 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 bang against my door, and I'm just trying to think what the fuck's going on. Like sounds like someone's trying to like knock in the door or something like that. So I walk up. I don't open the door because there's somebody like there's this banging going on. So then I don't open the door. I open the window next to the door and look out and see what's out going on out there. And one of the girls who's doing this has brought a guy home because they were in the room next to me, and the guy is fucking her against the door to my room.
What?
And
Jesus
then
Christ!
the next day when um, it was I get up to go out of the room, I open the door, and right in front of the door, there's this big brown stain on like there's like tiles at the front there. Everything's tiled, so then on the tiles there's this big brown stain.
Oh my god, dude.
And like they with the I the you could, there's like these steps. Most of the houses have steps to get onto the roof, and the roof's usually just this like flat terrace. So I went. I was always going up onto the roof quite a bit because it's a good way to get away from all the craziness. And you just sit up there and you can hear the sounds of traffic below you, and you can see out towards the ocean and stuff. It's a nice place to sit quietly. So I stepped over that and went out there, and I was going to go up because I usually go up there in the morning and sit quietly. In this like chair that I found somewhere that I took up there. Um, I was just sitting up there and doing that, and I went up there and saw the girls up there, and I said to them because they didn't speak very good English and very broken English. I said to them essentially. Explained to them in couple of different ways, but it was essentially saying to them, if you spill a guy on the ground in front of my door, you have to clean him up. Eventually, they got the idea and they got very offended. And they went and told the guy whose place it was what I'd said to them. And he came back, and I was just like, "Yeah, you've got a fucking couple of whores next to thee on one side. I don't fucking care that they're whores and shit like that. It doesn't bother me. It just bothers me when like this shit's on the front of my door happening right there. Like, and then like I'm expected to clean it up. Am I? Like it just sits there, and nobody does anything about it for a couple of days. And like, what am I supposed to clean it up? And he's like, "Oh no, sorry, sir, we'll clean it up, sir."
Okay, do you want to hear a fucked up story?
Okay, okay,
Okay, so the first time I meet this guy in the bar, he's just a drunken customer. We used
yeah,
to, my friends and I used to visit this bar every weekend.
yeah.
And first time we meet him, he's just a drunken customer. Next time I meet the guy, he's a fucking bartender. So
Yeah.
I find out he's the super, which is basically the landlord.
Okay,
But
this
you,
is
but you,
sounding
but
good.
you don't own the building, right?
Yeah.
He's this, he's this like straight off the boat Irish guy. who's been here for a while. He has this little Buster Brown Dutch boy haircut. Uh, he was a bit of a dick when I met him the first couple of times, but I ended up having a pretty decent relationship with him. Going to the bar, he's, how you doing there? He was always
Yeah,
a good guy. You know,
yeah, a geezer.
I he had ghost white hair and a ghost white mustache, but he wasn't really geezer-ish. He
Okay,
It was more like he was an albino than an old person.
okay,
I don't know if that seems right to say, but he was the super of a building in my neighborhood, and he was taking Christmas decorations down, and someone ran up to him and shot him to death.
fuck. I mean, was he that much of a dick, or was it like, yeah,
I don't know because I was never able to find out anything else about that. I mean, I wish I could have.
yeah,
Because, like I said, he was a very abrasive person when I first met him. But he kind of grew on everybody when he became a bartender and actually got to talk to them. Like I
okay?
told
So,
you, he was a
like, as a
customer at
drunk,
first. He was a
as a
customer at
drunk,
first.
as a customer, he was like that fucking obnoxious piece of crap that you just like wish he'd go away. But then when he became the bartender, it was more of like it was the character of the place, the character of a bartender. He's a little bit of a dick, but he's
Well, I
okay because
don't
he's the
even
bartender.
know. I don't even know if that was it because he was shot outside the building that he was the super of. So I don't think it had anything to do with the bar. I hope it didn't have anything to do with the bar. I hope,
Yeah, you heard just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
well, obviously he was targeted because he's taking down decorations in front of the building that he works at.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's obviously targeted.
Thought he was somebody else.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think he was targeted.
Yeah.
I think 100% he was targeted. I don't know if he had any other dealings going on, maybe gambling, whatever, blah blah blah. I, I'm,
He
I'm
was
not gonna
actually an international kingpin.
I'm not gonna name his name. I won't name his name, but he was a good guy. He was a dick when I first met him. But when he became a bartender, he was a very nice, protective guy. I remember one time because we used to do last call at these bars every fucking night. We used to do last calls even on the weekdays. Last call at this bar every night. I'm not ready to go home after drinking, but one of my friends is. And my friend was twice the size of me. And he's fucking stumbling his ass down the block. And I'm one of the last people left in the bar. And he peeks his head out. Is like, I just want to make sure he makes it home okay. I'm like, why? It's like there's a lot of clowns out there. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, but he's like twice the size of clowns out there that are gonna want to deal with him.
Yeah, he just like gets passed out and falls on top of them and they're dead.
Well, he wasn't
That alone.
he wasn't that fucking size. He was kind of like pro wrestler size. He wasn't like
Andre
think
the Giant.
yeah yeah. He was more like
Like Andre the Giant accidentally sits on you and like,
yeah. He wasn't
that's
Andre
it,
the
you're
Giant
done.
size. He wasn't Andre the Giant size. Although this is an also oh man, the same bar, same bar. Another great story. So another friend of mine and me at the same bar weeknight. He calls his dad out, says, "Hey, come meet us at the bar." His dad's like, "Okay." So we're sitting at the booth, and his dad's sitting at the bar the whole time drinking tequila. And same exact thing. We're closing up the bar. His dad drinking tequila is like, "Okay, I'm good. I'm gonna go."
Uh,
So it's maybe
Tequila
like,
is a tricky one. Hey?
oh yeah, especially for a beer drinker, because his dad is straight up beer. His dad's a
Yeah.
straight up beer guy.
Uh, they there's this one guy I knew who like he's your atypical, what we would call a like atypical South Aussie beer drinker, where he had like that same sort of haircut you were talking about, but he's this short, round guy who's like just like a he's not he's like fat but he's round. I say, but he's round. It's not. It's like this sort of. There's a bit of muscle behind it because in order for him to move himself around, he has to have a bit of muscle. And like, yeah, he been drink. They're just at a footy. They're watching the footy, um, and they've been drinking beers all day. And then I turned up with a bottle of tequila, like the really high quality stuff with a worm floating around at the bottom of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then like we started hitting just shots of warm tequila, just going around. And we're playing darts at the same time because by the time I was working night shift, so by the time I get there at like 2 in the morning, they've been drinking all day and they're still going into the night, and they're now playing darts. And he's standing there. He's got like 3 darts in his hand, and he takes the one out and throws it into the dartboard. Turns back, takes the shot, puts the thing down, takes the next dart, throws that dart, turns back to us. His face is red. His eyes are watering. His mouth, his cheeks like bulging, and his face, he's just going red. And he then sort of like he goes to say something, he opens his mouth, and it starts to like the pressure starts to give way, and we're all sort of start to step back. Whoa! As it like starts to spray, and he then turns towards like the bushes next to where he's been playing darts out the back, and he just bends over, and like hours of just non-stop vomit.
But wait, sorry, Nancy. Hello,
Hey Nancy,
Random Brad.
how random.
Hello. How you doing?
Thanks for coming and hanging out.
But so anyway,
Sorry, I cut you off.
that's fine. That's fine. So my friend's dad leaves the bar before me and him do,
Yeah.
and I, I can't remember. It had to, maybe it was half. I hope it was half an hour. I hope it was half an hour because if we left him out there this long, it would have been bad. Um, so his dad decides to stumble home, and me and him are polishing up our drinks,
Yeah.
and then we're walking home, and he lives in a building right around the block from where I live. So we're walking up the block, and we see a passed out figure on the front steps of his building, and we're laughing about it. We're like, who the fuck is this motherfucker? And the closer we get, we realize, oh shit, it's your dad. Like, seriously, we took about 3 or 4 steps closer. It's like, oh shit, it's your dad. So we had to, like, like, snap him out of it, like, smack him in the face, snap him out of
Get
it.
him, bring him to.
And he's a big dude too. He's a big dude. He's like John Goodman during like the original season of Roseanne
Oh,
size.
big guy.
And we had to
See,
carry
this is
his
why we
ass.
need smelling salts. Like
And
people
we
used to
had,
have a thing, smelling salts, where you put it in their nose and like "Ugh," as they wake up.
but we had to carry his ass up 3 flights of stairs
Fuck. Yeah.
and throw him into his fucking bed. Oh yeah,
So,
he was.
as if you leave him sort of on a slight angle, face down,
Oh
he
no, we
probably
couldn't do
won't.
that.
He probably won't swallow his tongue. It'll be fine.
No, but I'm saying like, how could this? How could his son leave him? All right, forget his son. How could I leave him out there like that?
Yeah, I know leaving him out there. Nah, it's
He was literally sitting on a 3-step porch,
damn
back up against the steps, and like
sprawled.
yeah, I'm like we left him there. Like he left the bar way before we did. I don't know.
It's like been there for a while. Like,
He had to have been.
yeah. Oh man, I'm glad I don't get drunk like that anymore.
But the thing was, he was old.
Yeah, those old guys, they can pack it away.
No, he couldn't because he's straight up a beer guy. He just went
Yeah,
into the tequila when he came to the bar with us.
yeah. No, when it's not your drink, if you're a beer person and you hit the spirits, yeah, it'll knock you. But then I've always find that like if I drink beer, it makes me really depressed. But if I drink spirits, I'm like jovial.
No, I can't. I can't do hard stuff.
But then I hate the store bought. I only prefer like if you know somebody who makes it, it's always good.
Nah, hard liquor will always fuck me up. Like, and not in a good way.
I had like
Hard liquor will always have me having regrets the very next day.
you know the Hershey's chocolate syrup.
Yeah.
You can imagine that it's like a little bit more on the sweeter side. It's actually almost exactly like if Random Brad is there, he'll know what I'm talking about. Cotty's chocolate topping. It's I don't know if it's a brand you guys have, but we have it in Australia. It's Cotty's chocolate topping. So you could imagine like a yeah, don't mix your poisons. Yeah, if you like, you can imagine that sort of thing, but it's a thinner sort of stuff. It's like a little bit thicker than a vodka, and when you drink it, it just tastes of that. You can't taste any alcohol, and it's about 25. So it's more like 30 to 40%, if not higher, in alcohol. Because once you start adding in a lot of the different other flavors to it, um, the gravity of the liquid changes, and getting the exact like I think I added a whole lot of the flavorings to it, put it in, and it said it was like 100% alcohol. It's like it can't go up in percentage; it can only go down. So yeah, working out roughly what the percentage was a ballpark thing, but it was up there, and you can't taste any of it. And then like you bottles of this stuff, by the way, and you come home from work. Like you've been working, doing some sort of physical labor all day. You come home and switch the TV on, and you like a little snack or something, and you pour yourself out a nice little drink of that stuff, and you start drinking this nice little chocolate drink. And you think to yourself, like, yeah, I've just had a nice little chocolate drink, and that taste was really nice. I'd like to have that taste again. So you pour yourself another little nice little chocolate drink, and then you're starting to feel a little bit tipsy, and you're thinking, no, like that drink, that taste was pretty good, and I'd like to have that taste again. So you think, you know what, I just have another little one, and then you've done this a couple of times, and you're sort of thinking, you know what, I'm getting pretty wasted now, and I okay, and then it's like you think back, hang on a second, this is like the fourth or fifth day in a row that I've come home from work and got incredibly toasted, like really drunk. And that was at the point where I said to myself, you know what? I need to quit drinking alcohol because if I don't, I'm going to become an alcoholic. So I basically quit drinking for years.
I don't know. I used to come home from work certain days and have meet up with my friends. And before I even got home, we would go right to the bar. Like, I wouldn't even get home, take a shower or anything like that. I would
Yeah,
go. I would get right off the train, not go home, and go right to the bar. There's numerous times I did that, and
yeah,
numerous times it worked out horribly.
yeah. Definitely.
When I witnessed two twins beating the shit out of each other, that was one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite moments of of not going
Used to,
home right from work and just going straight to the bar and just hanging out. Yes, I would. It was fucking. It was Sub Zero versus Scorpion. It,
Sub
it,
Zero versus Scorpion.
it
I
was
just think you try to put money on them, but you don't know
it was
who you're putting money on.
Ken versus Ryu right in front of my face. It was fucking
Yeah.
hilarious.
That's awesome.
I mean, we all had to deal with the cops afterwards when the cops
Yeah.
were called that, but it was still fun to experience.
Yeah.
I mean, not really, but like in the aftermath, like in hindsight, it was
In
yeah,
hindsight, it was hysterical.
oh yeah.
The, the only thing that could have made it any better is if they were midgets.
I don't know if they were midgets. I don't
Come
know.
on, what's better than watching midgets fight? It's watching twin midgets fight.
I don't know. This one knee shot I saw. I don't think it would have been as effective. I saw a huge knee shot to the face. I don't think it would have been.
Knee to the face.
Yeah, yes. This one twin was on the floor on his knees, and the
Okay.
other one came up with a knee blast right to his chin. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think it would have been as effective looking if it was midgets doing it.
If like if there was a
Because
midget
my
doing
knee,
it
yeah,
to a
yeah,
full size person,
exactly.
then that would have been like, whoa, yeah. It's like you got him
Yes,
down, got the midget got the guy down on his knees, and then like right to the
exactly.
head. Fucker.
These were two
Oh,
these.
now I need to see
But I'm
that.
saying these were two people who looked exactly the same, who
Yeah,
were fighting each other, who were the same size and everything, because they were
yeah,
twins.
yeah. Twins, yeah. It's like yeah,
Maybe if it
like
was
when you
all right, maybe what you're saying, maybe if it was midget twins, yeah.
midget twins. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but I just think like when you play like Street Fighter or something like that, and you both go the same character, and like one's like wearing
Exactly.
slightly different tunic to the other. They're both the same character, but one's in like red and the other one's in white.
Well, it's like when Ken and Ryu are just throwing fireballs at each other.
Yeah,
But no, oh man, this was a net, yo. Oh, I don't think I ever witnessed.
it looks like Random's into the midgets. He likes them.
He like uppercutted his chin with his knee.
Uppercutted his chin with a knee. Well, if the guy's down there, why not? Probably got if he's not that confident with the kick, he's got more
But
control over the knee.
the other funny thing is like these twins went like 3 or 4 rounds, 3 or 4 separate rounds this entire night before the cops were called to break this whole shit up.
Yeah, because everyone's
Oh my
watching it,
god.
going like, "This is just amazing. I can't look away in order
I
to call
missed
the police."
round one too. I missed round one.
Oh, he missed round one.
I heard round one going on from the other room and I walked out. I walked out after round one. And then me and my other friend got to witness the rest of the fight. Oh my god. Oh, it's so fucking funny. Oh my god. and the cops came. There was like a fucking 40-minute discussion between the cops and the twins that were fighting.
Damn. They're like, have you not seen Street Fighter? Are you not entertained?
I don't know. Maybe I'm sick for getting some sort of. I even tried to break it up, and my other friend stopped me from breaking it up
Yeah,
because
I don't know.
my friend that was there also had seen me trying to break up fights before between brothers. That's not the first fight that I've
Not
seen
the first
between
brothers
brothers.
fight you tried to
No,
break up.
no, no. I got a fucking like glass candle thrown at my head. Like you know those like I don't know. You know what a bodega is? They had these like huge glass candles. Well, one of them was thrown at the back of my head while I was trying to break up a fight once between two brothers.
I was thinking it wasn't from one of the brothers throwing something. It was like someone who wanted to
No,
watch the
no,
fight
one of the brothers threw it at the other brother, and I was in the way of it.
in the way. Yeah. 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 I haven't been hit in the back of the head with anything like that. No.
Oh, I've been hit in the head with a lot of things.
I've been hit across the back with the flat of a cricket bat, which was an amusing situation. I can't remember what the fight was about. I just remember somebody running up and then whacking me across the back of it, across the back. It was the flat side, not the sharp side. And my back had been a bit stiff and a bit tight. And when they hit, I just sort of jerked suddenly, and there's this big crack, sort of thing, like when you release the pressure and there's that crack. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, oh yeah, that feels so good. I feel like I can move nice and freely now. And the guy with the cricket bat just sort of like, yeah, fuck that, I'm out of here.
I've realized throughout my life I have a pretty hard head, and not just like metaphorically,
No
but
metaphorically, but physically.
physically.
That
I've
story I
cracked
told at the beginning, the
I've
Jerobeam would have given way to you.
I've cracked my head on concrete a few times.
Ooh, nasty.
I'm still here standing.
Yeah,
A
I
few
was.
years a few years ago, I went backwards down my stairs like the fucking boulder from Temple of Doom, blasted my head into the door, and managed to crawl up my stairs and drag myself into the shower and wake my ass up.
yeah, working on a scaffolding and climbing down. Like there's people on the ground on one side of it, and I'm climbing down the other side, and they grab the scaffolding to move it.
At the time, you were whoa,
As I was
whoa,
I was at the top trying to step over the rail to climb down.
you fell.
Yeah, straight onto the concrete on because it's a like the place hasn't been built yet, so there's no carpet or anything put down. There's just the concrete block that everything's being built onto. And then there was like a few like at least I didn't
Did
I
you
it was a
break
while ago.
anything?
I can't
Did you break anything?
I didn't break anything, but there was a period of time where I just couldn't move. I was just lying there. I was like, I can't move at all. My entire body just like stuck. I can't move.
No
And then
broken
after a
bones.
little while, I was able to move. After like some time passed, and I was like, okay, I can start to sort of like move my hands and my feet a little bit now. It's okay, and I can like start moving my legs and my arms now. So it wasn't like days; it was like hours that I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't able to move.
Damn, hardcore.
Yeah. That's probably about the worst that I've done that hasn't been some sort of like motorcycle accident or something.
You a motorcycle rider?
Used to be, but like I have this habit of like I'd be going along normal speed, just like you're doing the right thing, and then like you'd be just like, well, I just go like this a little bit faster, and I'll just take this corner a little bit faster, and then I just take the next corner a little bit faster than that, and just I could go a little bit harder into the next corner, and the next one I'll go a little bit faster, and then we'll get a straight. So why don't I just keep going even faster now down the straight? Why don't we just see what this thing can do? And then you crash.
Fucked
Uh,
up.
um, the big crash I had there was um, like going driving down the coast, and to my right, it's basically like a drop down to the sand, and then ocean, and to my left is like the houses that are the expensive houses right on the water, and I'm on the road in between the two, and it goes along and then turns to the right and sort of swerves to the right and then back to the left again, and I'm going along there at about 120, and that's 120 kilometers an hour. I'm not sure what that is in American, but I'm going fairly fast, faster than you're supposed to be driving along that area. And I lean to the right to go along this curve. And as I go to the right, a storm hits. It was a Wednesday, and the storm hit on the Wednesday and lasted through till the Friday night or evening. And I think it was a Kingswood my friend was driving, and he was up at my place waiting for me to get back. And he fell asleep in the his car and woke up because the storm was shaking his car backwards and forwards, and the violent shaking of his car woke him up. He thought there was something like someone had crashed into him or something. So it was an incredibly powerful storm, which so instead of me swerving to the right and going around this curve, the wind kept the bike going straight. The bike hit the curb, and I was like then jettisoned along at road level. The bike went end over end, shredding the bike, and it went through a tin sign, narrowly missed a lamppost, and was completely a complete write off at the end. But I was fired off at sort of around, like I was leaning over, so I was pretty close to the ground level as it was, and I got shot off. My right hand got caught underneath me, and was my knuckles and my hand was top of my hand was ground away, sort of between me and the road as I was sliding along the road. My thumb got a lot of it, and it destroyed all the tendons that go from the knuckle where your thumb connects to your hand all the way up to the tip. Most of those were destroyed at the knuckle in between there, where that knuckle was ground back. Um, I had an open face helmet with a piece of plastic sort of guard, like a visor, plastic visor across the front of it. That broke and made like a big fishhook shape, which then went inside my mouth and sliced open my bottom lip and sliced most of my bottom lip off.
Fucking shit, dude.
My nose was ground back to my face, and the top of my face on my right hand side was all ripped up. Fractured my wrist.
God damn, dude.
But then some people found me on the road, basically face down on the road, bleeding out, and they Holden Kingswood, that was the one.
Well, you're still here, so.
But the was the people that came out saw me. They said that the this I don't really remember a lot of this because my memories of it were spotty, and it's sort of what I remember remembering at the time. Because I remember remembering at the time that they came up and they said, "Don't worry, you'll be okay." And part of what they told me happened as well. They said that the ambulance and the police are on their way. It's okay. All I heard was police, and I then got up. I said, "No, I'll be fine. It's okay. I'm totally okay." I got up and I walked a few meters, maybe. I'm no good with guesstimating meters, but like, yeah, I walked a fair distance when I then collapsed from lack of blood. So when I went back and I had a look at the place, there's this red stain where I was bleeding out. And then if you keep walking
Red
down the,
stain.
you
Holy
keep
shit.
walking down the road, to where to a little bit further, there's this place that's a really expensive place, and it's got like this. I don't know what the sort of concrete it is, but it's this really really intense white raw concrete in the front. With this now has this sort of light, like a ready sort of stain, like a yellowy ready stain on the front of their driveway, which was the second spot I went down.
Yeah, you're still here, so
Yeah.
congratulations.
Hey, one of the good things that came out of it was once you've sort of had a crash like that, and it's sort of like you get to say, like, it took that to knock me down. Like when you've got into a few fights here and there, and nobody's really been able to knock you down really that well, and you have that happen. It's like, okay, so now I know it takes that to knock me down. Like, it's like, so which one of you, like, you go out into like a dangerous, dodgy place, like, okay, which one of you motherfuckers could do worse than that to me?
No, well, the thing about getting into fights, it's not getting knocked down. It's how you get back up,
Yeah.
and if you can get back up.
My philosophy in a lot of the fights had always been to, if like if someone throws a punch, take the punch, but don't give it a but don't let them take it back. So if they punch you, that fist is yours now. Take it,
Well, have you ever seen?
take it off them. Literally, like try to remove their hand from the wrist.
Are you a fan of the Rocky movies at all?
Um, I am not a big fan of them. I have watched them and I did like them, but it's not. I'm not like a avid fan.
Well, did you see? Okay, Rocky Balboa, the one where he sees the computer-generated fight and decides to come back to try and do a boxing match. Rocky Balboa, I think it was.
Yeah.
Ooh, what was it? 2005 or 2006?
Oh, I don't know. I know the older ones I've definitely seen, but the newer ones I don't know for sure. Let me look.
But there's a part in the movie where he says to his son, "It's
Okay.
not it's not how hard you can hit, it's how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward."
Yeah,
And I think that's a great fucking slogan right there.
for sure. But yeah, Random Brad's quite right there. You need to learn the art of fighting without fighting. It's like if you can win a fight without throwing a punch, then yeah, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, but if you get hit, you got to hit back.
Oh yeah, you got to be able to take a blow, and you need to be able to
You
throw
know,
one back.
it's not like someone's just not gonna hit you in the face. You have to fucking retaliate. There's no way I'm getting hit in the face and not retaliating. I'm sorry.
It does depend on the person and the circumstance.
No,
I mean,
no,
like if there's some tiny little fucking like
no, not
waif of
me.
a waif of a
No,
woman
no,
throws a
not me.
punch at you,
No, no.
and you're just like seriously, like I've had
Well,
like women try to.
retaliating. I'm not saying I'm gonna fucking roundhouse kick this 130-pound woman in the face. I'm saying retaliating. She tries to hit
Yeah,
me in the face. I'm gonna grab her fucking arm. Be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
I mean, there
Equal
particularly
rights.
if a guy
Equal
hits
rights.
you,
Yo, equal
hang on,
rights.
if a guy who's fairly like feminine, physically feminine looking, hits you, and all you do is laugh back at him, that's like the most emasculating thing you could possibly do to him.
But I'm just saying, equal
Like you, if
rights.
you any like you if he like you hear this like a weedy little guy comes up and tries to hit you and like clocks you the side of the head and you're like fuck that, it's uncomfortable, but it's not like it's really done anything. It's like a kid hitting you, and
I'm
then
just
like
saying,
you if you turn around and then like you give him a good shot to the face and
people
like
want
give him a good black
people
eye.
want people want equal rights, right? So don't
Yeah.
hit someone and then
Oh yeah,
cry when
no,
they hit you back.
sure,
That's not equal rights.
but
That's special treatment.
there's something that was a little bit of jokingly and it's a little bit not portrayed quite well, but something that was in Star Trek Deep Space Nine said by the character Garrick. Garrick? Garrick, yeah. I was going to say Gareth for a second, but no, I'm pretty sure it's Garrick. He was basically surrounded by a group of Klingons who were like, your people are working with the founders, the big bad guys. So therefore you're like you're the same race as the people who are working with them. Therefore we're going to fuck you up. So they beat the crap out of him, and eventually they get caught like you're doing it, and they pull out. Garrett gets pulled out of the situation, and they're saying like, why didn't you really fight back? And he said that. And he was in the infirmary being fixed up, and he's like saying, well, like I'm nearly fixed from all the damage they've done to me, but from all the things I've said to them, that's going to be with them for the rest of their lives. And there's something to be said about that. If you can have the sharpness of a tongue that and hit them in the spot that really hurts the most, and like psychologically and emotionally, you can do far more damage that's going to be longer lasting than any punch. And if the blow against you is something you can just shrug off, why not like cut them right to the bone and leave them broken on the inside, rather than give them a black eye that they can like they ice it and they'll be fine tomorrow.
But closing in on hour and a half.
Yeah.
I just want to jump into bullshit for a little bit. And
Garrick was a very wise man.
and Krish, it was good talking to you, man.
That's fun.
You're a good dude.
Yeah, always enjoy speaking to you. Good people.
Oh, I hope you think so.
Oh yeah, for sure. You're one of
Not
the best.
not
You're one of the best up and coming YouTubers.
yeah, right. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. You're a liar. Up and coming YouTubers.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, you're like me. You're only small time at the moment. You're not like, how many hundreds of subscribers have you got? You're like, you're a
Currently,
few hundred ahead of me, aren't you?
currently, no, a few hundred ahead of you. Wait, currently, hold on. Let me peep this out. Hold on. Let me see.
You're gonna pull out your subscriber cock and see how big it is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, my subscriber cock. I've been doing this shit since the end of or what was it? November 2018. November 2018, right? Um, oh yeah, that 151 subscriber cock.
That's 151 inches, man. That's not nothing. Like it could be worse. It could be 151 mil. That'd be sad.
Yeah, 151. Yeah, awesomeness.
Yeah.
But I keep trying. I know we all do, right? You do.
Well, hey, was this? That's just great. Bit rough around the edges, but we love you, brother. See, what am I saying?
Rough around the edges.
Like you're what's the right word for it? Like the opposite. What's the opposite of like artificial?
Genuine?
Genuine, I guess. Yeah, you're real. That's it. You're real.
What else am I gonna be?
You could be like an orange puppet that is like made out of cotton and polyester and stuff like that.
What else am I gonna be? Why would I? I don't understand this.
I
I'm
know
not
that
gonna.
people put on characters because they think that's what people are going to want to. I mean, we could go deep
Yeah,
into the
yeah.
psychologically we could go deep into the psychology of it and say that we all wear masks. There is a persona that we present to the world outside. that is not necessarily the actual us, and most of the time for most people is not the true self they portray. It is a version of themselves.
Here's myself.
Yeah.
Here's myself right now. I still haven't shaved yet. I know I gotta take care of this tomorrow. But I don't care about showing my face. Some people do. I don't. I don't one bit. I'll show my face. Whatever.
Yeah. See, random Brad, saying you're rough around the random Brad saying you're rough around the edges. He's like, yeah, definitely a compliment because he's saying that he is rough as fuck around the edges. Just means you had a hard life and you still keep
Well,
chugging along. Like you've lived a life, you've seen shit, and you keep going. You're a
yeah.
man.
I'm the little engine that could. Right.
What was that?
I'm the 41-year-old engine that could.
Yeah, Thomas the Tank Engine.
Or could not. Maybe I could not. But I'll
The
show
little
my
engine
face.
that couldn't be fucked.
I'll show my face. The little engine that couldn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for coming through, man.
That's no worries, dude. It's fun.
uh, I have 2 more rounds of StreamYard hours. I
We
want to
doing
try.
a Let's Watch this week?
I want to try to get one together.
Cool.
What day you doing your Legion stream?
My Legion stream is. Let me just look at my calendar. I'll try to keep everything under control. So it's Thursday night for you, Friday morning for me is the Legion stream.
But it'll be Thursday my time. Yeah.
Yeah, Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which will be 9 a.m. Australian Western Standard Time. Yeah,
I'll be there for that.
awesome.
So Chris, go ahead, plug your shit.
Hey, Random Brad, you know me. I'm TWDG Content. We've got the Let's Watches on this coming Thursday. The Thursday after will be the what's it called? The panel games up late. We'll be doing it a bit later. Hopefully, this will allow a few other people who are usually working, like Ben from Fan Addicts of Film and Kalog, not Kalog, sorry, what's his name? Snowdup. Jolly. We'll hopefully get him to come on the show as well. So that'd be great. That's not this week, but the week after. On the Twitter at God's Teapot.
All right. So thanks again for coming through.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
I have a totally different Twitter right now because of past weak actions.
You
And
have had the wrong think.
no, no, no,
No, didn't have
no.
wrong think. They
I
didn't kick
don't
you off
think
for
I
wrong
did.
think.
I don't think I did. But my Twitter is Captain Blinky right now. So anyone wants to hit me up, look up Captain Blinky on Twitter. So Chris, you already knew that though. I
You
already
just
sent you that
told me.
message.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sent you that message before.
Yeah,
I
I've
tried.
just followed you
I, tr-
back.
I tried to a few days ago, but hey, Twitter. Ooh, I got put in quite a Twitter box.
Yeah. What did you do?
Oh,
If you want to say, I mean, like if it's like
oh,
a
I won't.
ongoing litigations, then we can.
I won't say right now, but thanks for coming through, Chris.
No worries.
TWTG content.
Thank you.
Uh, anyone came up in the chat? Random Brad, Nancy. Thank you, everybody, and God bless everyone. Have yourselves a good night. I wish peace and love upon all. Later, folks.
Night.